Hi everybody, this is Dr. Troy Lay, holistic nutritionist and anti-aging expert. And today we are going to be making flaxseed crackers. They're easy to make, way more nutritious than anything you can get in the store. And you really don't need any special equipment in order to pull this off. So don't forget, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and do hit the bell so you can receive notifications when I upload a new video. So to make our flaxseed crackers, you need flaxseed. Now, I don't recommend you buy flaxseed meal. Why? Because once seeds or grains are ground, they start to lose their nutritional value. So if you're buying flaxseed meal, how long has that been sitting in the bag? So you always want to start with fresh ground flax seeds. And besides that, they're cheaper. So I'm going to be using about 2 cups of fresh ground flaxseed. I already got started on some of the flour, so I wouldn't be here forever showing you. But I'm going to take another ½ cup of ground flax seeds, measure them out. And you guys know my trusty Ninja blender is my favorite kitchen appliance. So let me just find the top over here. And I'm just going to grind these up right in my Ninja blender. So I now have 2 cups of flaxseed meal, freshly ground. Now, during my prep, I got started with my spices. So what I have in here is a combination of 1/8 teaspoon each of marjoram, basil, oregano, rosemary, onion powder, garlic powder, and oregano. I mean, I've already said oregano. So I've just ground them up. I put those in the spice blender and just ground them all together because the rosemary, you know, they're kind of twiggy-like. So I just put that all together. That working. Now I'm only going to need my water, and there's a little bit of maple syrup in here because I also added a ½ teaspoon of sea salt. That was also in that mixture. So all that was already there. And I'm going to drop the recipe below so you can find it. So I have about a cup of water and a little bit, about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, just to give it a little bit of, not really sweetness, but sometimes when you don't add some type of sweetener, the taste can be accurate. So I always end up adding just a little bit of maple syrup. So I add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup per cup of flaxseed flour that I use. So now I'm just going to come back over here so you can see. I'm going to pour this in my mixture. I'm going to pour a little and stir and then see if I need to add more. So I'm stirring now so you can see how that's kind of coming together there. And I definitely need more. If you can see that, that's the texture. Now I'm going to let this sit for 15 minutes. So it can begin to absorb some of the liquid, and then I'm going to show you how to flatten it out on a cookie sheet pan so you can put it in the oven. Or if you are eating raw and you want to maintain maximum nutrition in these crackers, you can dehydrate them. So I'm going to dehydrate some so you can see how that goes, and I'm also going to show you how to cook some on a low oven at 170 degrees. So be back in 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and the dough has stiffened up a little bit. Let me just try to let you see what that texture is. And that's about how you want it so you can manage it on the cookie sheet. So you want to get a piece of parchment paper and a cookie sheet, which you can see I have right here. So you get this parchment paper on the cookie sheet. And in order to hold this parchment down, I always do like a dab of dough on all the ends, just to kind of to hold it down. Just to take the dough. And by the way, you're going to need some water so you can dip your hands in to keep your hands from sticking to everything. So I need a little bit of water there, and I'll leave that right there. And if you want to do it the way where you're going to score the crackers, you can just take a big lump of dough, like so. I think I'm going to score this pan. So you can see it here. And you're just going to press it out and get it as thin as you can get it, or as thin as you like your crackers. I'm going to dip my hand in water so it doesn't constantly stick to the, you just see, yeah, you can see that. So it doesn't just constantly stick to the dough. So I'm just dipping my hands in water and I'm just pressing it out. There we go. Keep your hands nice and moist. Now I'm just going to grab a steak knife, although I don't eat steak. And I'm going to score this. And I'm just going to cut some lines in it to make it easier for me to break the crackers apart. So there you have it. Hope you can see that those lines are in there. They're scored. So when they come out, they're easy to cut apart. So now I'm going to put this in my oven. The oven is set at 170. So here they go in the oven. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to have it more on the side of a raw food and maintain even more nutrition, you can use a dehydrator. So I use silicone sheets in my dehydrator, and I already have them perfectly cut to fit all of the trays. And basically the only difference, let me put this back over here so you can see, the only difference in using this is I just do smaller crackers. I don't try to mash the whole thing down and then score it. So here we are about 10 hours later. These took a little longer than I remembered because I usually use my dehydrator, and I know I let that go for 12 hours, but these took about 10 hours. So you can see that how they were scored, and all I have to do now is just, and I think you can hear the crunch on them too. If I just break one apart here, yeah, you can kind of hear the crunch. So they're nice and crunchy, and that's it. The crackers are ready to go. I will usually use these with hummus. That I think I've already put that recipe up for homemade hummus here. But yeah, I just store these in a little container, and we're all ready to go with 100% natural homemade flaxseed crackers, and they are so yummy. Hear that crunch? Enjoy.